Not that it's anyone's business how I finance my fireplace wall, but that is pretty much how I finance it. Lifestyle lovers, welcome back to ItsELifeStyle. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Erica. My channel is called ItsELifeStyle, and it's all about creating a good lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so this video is going to be everything that you should consider when doing a large home renovation. Specifically, I am going to be discussing my fireplace wall because it is the most recent home renovation that I have completed in my home. Most of you guys have followed me on this journey. As you can see it behind me, these are custom shelving, and this is actually the fireplace wall. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about important things to consider. I'm going to talk to you about costs. I'm going to talk to you about budget and contractor and all of those different things that apply. So if you are interested in the very important things that you consider when doing a large home renovation, then keep watching. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so one of the very important things to consider when doing a big home renovation is a budget. Always create a budget for the particular project. That way you'll know exactly when you're starting to overspend or exceed your budget. I did create a budget as to how much I wanted to spend as far as labor cost was concerned. I did exceed that budget by a few $100s, which actually was not that bad, being that I'm really 110% satisfied with the outcome. I think that this definitely helps when you start to shop around for different quotes, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the video. But if you have a budget, then you're most likely to stick to that budget, and it comes into play when you're getting different quotes. Now, one of the ways to kind of create a realistic budget, I would actually ask homeowners who have gotten similar home renovations in their home. You know, if they've done a kitchen renovation, or if they did flooring, a fireplace wall. My best friend just recently got a fireplace wall done in her home, and although she did not get custom shelving on the side of her fireplace wall, I was kind of able to use, you know, how much she paid for materials, how much she paid in labor costs as a benchmark for myself. Okay, so the next thing that you absolutely want to consider is costs. Basically, how are you going to pay for it? Now, there are several ways that people, you know, pay for home renovations. Some people prefer to save for them. Some people finance them if they can get like a 0% interest rate. For me, I actually used my yearly bonus. So on my full-time job, I get a yearly bonus every year. So I decided this year that I was going to use a portion of that bonus in order to finance a home renovation in my home. At the time, I did not know necessarily that I was going to do the fireplace wall. I was actually considering doing a small kitchen renovation, which I do plan to do sometime down the line, but I figured that I had to do something with this area, so this is where I decided to allocate a portion of that money to. The reason that that was easiest for me is because I did not want to go in my savings. I will tell you this, just for example, just say if you have $5,000 in your savings and you decide, okay, I'm going to use $2,000 to finance a home renovation project in my home. As with most home renovation projects, as I told you guys earlier in the video, I exceeded my budget. A $2,000 project can easily turn into a $3,000 project. So you want to be strategic in how you use the funds in order to finance your home renovation, because if you take $2,000 out of your savings and the project ends up being $3,000 or $3,500, now you're halfway into your savings. You just never know the hidden costs that can come in along with home renovations. And also, if you decide to do the option of saving for a home renovation, depending on your financial obligations monthly, it can take a few months to save a few $1,000s for a home renovation. So my advice is to use maybe your income tax to fund a portion of a home renovation. I know a young lady here on YouTube, she actually took on a part-time job during tax season, and she was able to finance her kitchen renovation because her and her spouse did not want to go into their savings to finance it. That is absolutely a great option. Do a side hustle. If you are being paid on an hourly wage and you have the opportunity to do overtime, go hard for 3 or 4 months and put that overtime money to the side. That's another option that you can use to finance a home renovation. Not that it's anyone's business how I finance my fireplace wall, but that is pretty much how I finance it. I used a portion of my yearly incentive bonus from my job. That was easiest for me opposed to, you know, going in my savings or, you know, using a financing plan. So just depending on what your financial obligations are, those are some ways that you can save or put money aside for a home renovation. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so another very important thing that I want you to take in consideration when doing a large home renovation is get multiple quotes. Most of you know that my contractor Brian, he did all of the work on this fireplace wall, but believe it or not, Brian was not the least expensive quote that I received when getting quotes. I actually received 3 quotes, and the first quote was the lowest quote. Granted, it was only for the fireplace wall. They would have had to bring in another contractor to actually do the custom shelving, but it was a really, really low quote. It was someone that I had worked with in the past, and I actually really, really wanted him to do the fireplace wall, especially for that price. So when I reached out to Brian, it was not to do the entire fireplace wall, it was simply to do the shelving. And we kind of got to talking, and he told me that he could actually do the entire wall. I also received a second quote from someone that I found on Facebook Marketplace. They was licensed and contracted. He came out and he gave me a quote for the fireplace wall as well, not the shelving. The quote that he gave me was pretty much close to what I paid for this entire unit. And he was only quoting me for the fireplace wall, which when he quoted me, I did feel like it was a really, really high quote. And as I stated, I consulted, you know, with my girlfriend who had just recently got something similar done, and she agreed that, you know, it was kind of expensive. So of course I kind of feel like he was trying to shit me, so to speak, you know, because he came in, of course you don't see, you know, another man anywhere around. I was absolutely not going to go with him. And then he is someone that I found on my own. He was not referred by anyone. That is another tip that I kind of want to jump in and tell you guys. Try to use contractors that typically someone you know has used before or has been referred from someone else. I know you can't do that all the time, but to me, word of mouth is like one of the best ways to kind of, you know, pass on business. So what made me actually decide to go with Brian for the entire unit was the first quote that I had from a contractor that I have worked with on multiple occasions. He was kind of moving slow as far as communication is concerned. He was taking a long time to return my calls. He was taking a long time to return my text. That's another thing that you should also pay attention to, timely communication. So once he was kind of moving slow on, you know, getting back to me on certain things, then I decided to let Brian give me an entire quote on the fireplace wall. When Brian came in, he was very professional. I really liked his energy. I'm one of those people that reads energy. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but I can remember calling my best friend that night and saying that I hope he does not come with like a crazy quote, because I really wanted to work with him, because it seemed like a great person to do business with. So he came in, he did the estimate, he actually sent me a quote through email, and as I stated, it was kind of slightly higher than the budget that I had set for myself, but you know, being that he was so professional and I just felt like he could do the job, I decided to hire him. So that's definitely something that I would recommend. Get multiple quotes, and if you can, get quotes from people that you know personally have used in the past. It's nothing wrong with, you know, going outside your typical contractor that you're used to working with to working with someone else. As I stated, this was my first time working with Ryan, and he exceeded my expectations. So a third point that I want you to consider when doing a large home renovations is a timeline. You have selected the contractor that you're going to go with. Ask them to give you a realistic timeline, and when they do, double it just for your mental health. So Brian did not actually give me a timeline, and to be honest, I really don't know how long it took. But one of the things that I asked from him once I decided to hire him is communication, which was really important to me. He did advise me in the beginning that he was only going to be able to work in the evenings and on the weekends, which was perfectly fine for me because I know that I could not be available every day, all day. I have a hybrid schedule where some days I work from home, some days I go into the office. So the days that I was able to work from home, he was able, you know, to come in during the morning time. And then the days that I had to go into the office, then he would come in the evening times. So we were very flexible on as far as the timeline is concerned. But I really would advise, if the contractor tells you 2 weeks, add 2 weeks to it. If they tell you 2 days, add 2 days to it. I would just absolutely double it, because things always come up that could possibly extend the timeline. I am currently getting a home renovation done in my home where it was supposed to be installed on Thursday. When he went to install it, we realized we had the wrong size hinges. You guys will get to see that on an upcoming vlog, but that pretty much put a halt to the project. So that's just an example of just things coming up. You know, things can happen. So I would advise, whatever timeline the contractor gives you, double it. Always double it. Okay, lifestyle lovers, so last but not least, I know you guys are curious to know, how much did the fireplace wall cost? Now, I actually was going to come on camera and give you the exact price that I paid, but the reason that I decided against that is because just in case you decide to hire Brian for a home renovation such as this one or anything similar, so I'm actually going to give you a range of what this could possibly cost if you are considering doing something like this in your home. I know I had referred Brian to another homeowner, and she thought that the price of the fireplace wall was quite expensive. I thought that it was really reasonable. Not cheap, but reasonable. So depending on your space, depending on your customizations, your price may vary from what I paid. So that's why I made the decision not to share the exact price, but more like a range, because it will vary depending on how big your home is, how big your wall is, how much you want to customize it. It will vary. So I will advise you, if you are interested in getting a fireplace wall built in your home with the custom shelving, it will range anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. Home renovations can be very expensive. I am very much aware of that. I think some people are actually under the impression that this is my first time with home renovations, but it actually is not. I purchased my first home at 27 years old. So in that home, I did home renovations. At that time, granite was really popular. So I replaced my countertops with granite countertops. Open floor plans was also very popular during that time, and we actually built walls in our home to create like a theater movie room space. So in a way, I know what to expect, and all of these things that I shared with you are very important in the home renovation process. Now, as far as what I paid for materials, the only materials that I had to buy was this actually porcelain tile, which was purchased from Floor & Decor. And I really don't know how much I paid. Let me get my receipt. Okay, lifestyle lover, so I actually had to go get my receipts from Flooring Decor. So what I spent for this porcelain tile was actually $450. That's what I spent in the actual material. This fireplace was purchased from Amazon. I believe it was like $400. I will link it in the description. The only other items that I had to purchase was actually a TV swivel, and I did do like a 360-degree angle swivel. So my TV can pretty much turn this way if I'm in the kitchen cooking or prepping or whatever the case may be. I can turn it this way, I can turn it this way. So it's on a 360-degree swivel that was also purchased from Amazon. I believe that probably was about $400. Not 400. I believe it probably was about $40 or $50, but I will link that in the description box. So that is pretty much the cost. I think it was well worth it. I am really happy with the outcome. But I just wanted to come on and be transparent with you guys about, you know, how much something like this will cost if you are interested in doing it in your home, or if you know, are thinking about it. The things that I have shared with you in this video, those are things that you definitely want to consider before even starting a home renovation. I hope this video was helpful to you if you are deciding to do a home renovation. When doing a home renovation, everyone's home is different, everyone's budget is different, and everyone's experience is different, but I hope that these were some helpful tips if you are considering doing a large home renovation or transformation in your home. I hope you enjoyed this video, lifestyle lovers. That is pretty much it for this video. Okay, lifestyle lovers, I almost forgot. There was another customization that came along with my fireplace wall, in which I decided to install recessed lighting at the top of each of the shelves. So of course, Brian is not an electrician, but he did refer me to someone who's actually a certified electrician. So he came in and he did all the electrical wiring for, you know, the TV, and he added the recessed lighting to each of the bookshelves, and the cost for that was $250, not including material. Do I have a receipt for the material? I do have a receipt for the material, but I'm not sure where it is. But his labor cost was $250. I did have to order the lights. Well, I don't even think we ordered the lights. We went to Home Depot to get the lights and all of the equipment that he needed from Home Depot. I can't remember how much that was. I guess if I had to guess, I would probably say $60. So if you add the additional customizations of the lighting, I would say that was an additional $300. So as I stated, you know, home renovations, they really cost, you know. So when you're getting something done, just be prepared. That's all I'm gonna say, just be prepared. If you are interested in the top that I'm wearing, it is from Express. I am going to do an Express haul on some of the recent items that I have been purchasing. So I am not going to give you all of the details, but I do want you to subscribe if you are interested in seeing that Express haul, because it will be coming up soon. But that is pretty much it for this video, lifestyle lovers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.